Welcome back, Mission Driven Moms. I've been running a little test group with the Mission Driven Mom Academy that I've been developing over the last few months. It'll be ready this fall. And so there's a few women who have been going through the curriculum with me and giving me feedback and what's working well. And recently we were going through some self-discovery materials. It was really fantastic. We had this really great discussion and there were lots of things going on in these women's minds. And this one woman in particular was in the members group, and she was talking about how she has so many things to do and she's a leader of a community besides having a bunch of kids at home, and she's trying to homeschool them and work on her own education and do the MDM Academy just as a favor to me. She's really awesome and I really appreciate it. And so we were talking about all of this, and she posted this kind of question or thought. It seems as though there is not enough time or energy in the day to do all the things that need to be done. Although I know that getting more sleep and eating the right things and exercising would theoretically give me more energy, and creating rituals and including rest and paying attention to physical, emotional, mental, spiritual energy will increase my capacity and productivity. This is one of the books that we were working on in the program and applying this information. She says, but there's also the advice to slow down when you're experiencing turbulence. Now, probably there's a very good chance that you moms that are watching this know exactly how she feels. You're strung out, you have a lot of things going on, and you're not sure that you're even doing a lot of the things well that you're supposed to be doing. And so she was kind of venting this and saying, you know, she just didn't know where to put her time and energy and was just kind of overwhelmed by all this stuff. And so I chimed in and I said, okay, well, the next question I would ask you is this: what is the one thing your conscience keeps nagging you to do? And she replied back, organize my home and home systems such as meals. That's funny because it's the one thing, she said, that keeps getting pushed to lowest priority, even though if my home was running smoothly and organized, it would make everything else easier and free up time and energy to do the other things. How did you do that? You're magic. Now, I'm not magic at all. I asked one really great question. It's a question I've asked a lot of students over the years, a lot of women that I've mentored, and it just always seems to work, like she said, like magic. And I'm going to ask you that same question. What is the one thing you know you're supposed to do right now? And without exception, when I ask this question, or when someone asks me this question, you always know. There's something that just kind of comes to your mind, and the beautiful magic is not me or the question, it's your conscience. Your conscience is always going to let you know what's the one thing you should be doing right now that would solve some problem that you're faced with or help you get more information, whatever it is you're struggling the most. When I say the one thing and you just gut reaction, what's the one thing that comes to your mind, almost without fail, pretty much all the time, that doing that one thing, listening to that one thing makes all the difference. And that's what happened with this woman. She's like, wow, I had all these things on there that I had to do and I was feeling stressed and overwhelmed. And when we brought it down to one thing, I know. Now, it's not just one task. There's multiple tasks to organize her home. It's going to be some work to get that done. But I think it's fascinating that she said, I keep putting it to lowest priority. Because this is the other thing we often do when we're not getting the results that we want in our lives, is that we have this nagging feeling of something that we should probably do. And sometimes it's the one thing we don't want to do. I'll never forget, this woman asked me to mentor her, and I had her answer a whole bunch of questions, and we had a handful of meetings, and her life was just really chaotic and kind of out of control. And I'd asked her a whole bunch of questions and filtered it all down, and I said, okay, I'm having a hard time getting a handle on kind of what might need to be the biggest priorities for you, and I can't figure out what it is, why you keep saying that you don't have enough time. We need to get to the bottom of that. That's kind of the common theme that keeps coming up. So this is what I want you to do before we meet next week. I want you at least 3 days Every hour or so, I don't want it to completely overwhelm you, but I want you to go get out a piece of paper. You could use your phone, your computer, whatever you want to use, and write down what you've been doing for the last hour. And catalog how you're using your time during the day, so we actually have something concrete we can look at. We can see how you're choosing to use your time, and then we can work with that information because we just don't have enough information. And she started laughing so hard. And she laughed and laughed and laughed. And I was like, why are you laughing? Why is this so funny? She's like, that is the thing my husband has been begging me to do for months. Well, unfortunately, in her case, she didn't follow through. And you know, this is the kind of the hard but awesome part when we commit ourselves to growth and we commit ourselves to be better and to become better and to overcome things, is that first of all, we have the aid of our conscience all the time. Carry that question with you. What's the one thing I know I should do right now? In my life, in my day, in this moment, and you will be guided. That answer will always come, okay? But recognize that lots of times it will be the answer you don't want the most. It will be something that you're not wanting to hear. My daughter is on this journey and she's doing this super cool thing where she's doing this happiness experiment, and every month she does a new project, this happiness project. And she asked me, okay, she says, this month I'm focusing on increasing capacity. So what are some things, what are some fears you think I have? Where do you think I need to increase my capacity? And I said, well, what's the next thing you need to do in your life? And she knew what it was. And it's the thing. She has some bad memories from the last time she did it. She has some fears about moving forward and doing it. She knows she needs to, and she needs to do it with her whole heart. So, it's hard to accept, but that's the liberating process. You feel stuck, you feel bogged down, you feel like you're not sure how to move forward. You ask yourself, what's the one thing I need to do? You accept it, even if it's the thing you don't want to do, and then you find that life gets better. Because just like this student said, she realized, yeah, but actually, how did she say it? It's the one thing that keeps getting pushed to lowest priority, even though if my home was running smoothly and organized, it would make everything else easier and free up time and energy to do the other things. So this is precisely why it works. Your conscience and God and grace and this forward movement in the universe want you to grow and want you to be better and want you to do the next thing you need to do. You know. As you ask that question, the answer will be provided. As you do it, you'll notice that life gets a little better. You learn some things, and she recognizes other stuff sounds funner. That sounds boring, that sounds hard, that sounds monotonous, so I'm pushing it to the background and it's making all this other stuff harder. So that's my challenge to you this week. Ask yourself that question and have the courage. Go to the Mastermind Facebook group and tell us, comment on this post and tell us what is the one thing you're supposed to do and what are you going to do about it this week, because that would be a perfect goal to set for this week. Now, if you don't belong to our mastermind group, please go join it. Request to join the Mission Driven Mom Mastermind group, because that's where we all support and help each other along, set goals on Monday and report our successes on Friday. And we have Facebook Live trainings and all kinds of cool stuff. If for some reason you haven't gotten a copy of The Mission Driven Life yet, please go to themissiondrivenmom.com and grab your copy of that book and start reading it, learning those 7 laws of life mission so that you can prepare yourself, because God does have a call for you. And he's waiting for you to prepare yourself. And those 7 laws are going to show you what you need to do to prepare yourself to hear God's call for you.